Nice. We're
Nice.
in like Flynn. So so this is episode 5. Can you believe it?
I can't. I mean, I can. At the same
Yeah,
time, I can't. Like it's
I know.
yeah, yeah.
Same here.
It's pretty
Awesome.
effortless for me. Like I enjoy making these. It's fun just talking because imagine me talk a lot. But yeah, I don't know how it is for our listeners if they're like, oh my god, we're only on episode 5, or like people are like, oh my god, it's amazing. It's already
Yeah.
episode 5.
Well, about that actually, about the listener's experience, I wanted to, so I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I'm a
Mm,
podcast fan. I
mm,
do. I enjoy it. I really do. And I've been, the last few years around COVID time, I started listening to them, and I would listen to
okay.
like Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. I would listen to WTF with Mark Maron. Those were a couple of my favorites. And a little bit of Theo Vaughn's podcast and just a lot of other random ones. Rick Rubin has a really good podcast called Tetragrammaton. And he's got a great voice and he does great interviews and it's a super chill vibe. It's really nice. So I've listened to a lot of podcasts as a fan. And so I think I have some idea of what listeners are expecting on like a baseline level when they click
Okay.
on a podcast they find on Spotify and listen to it, in terms of like the volume, the way it sounds.
Right.
And, we're just starting out with this thing. So there's no reason to expect it to sound like the greatest thing ever recorded. But I think we have great content. And so therefore, I think it would be a shame if people dismissed it purely on the basis of they click it and it doesn't sound right and they move on.
Yeah.
There are certain, and like I said, not only have I listened to a lot of podcasts as a fan, I'm also like an audio guy, as we know, or as you know. Like
Right.
I've got a little studio here. I've got microphones. I play around with, like, I record stuff. So it's like a lot of that stuff is pretty second nature to me at this point. But I know that some of it is new for you, and so I want to show you one or two things. Um, Hold on one second. But that I think might be helpful, just because, yeah. And I mean, one thing I want to do today during our session is settle on a name for the podcast, by the way. Which we will do, and it will be done by the end of this episode, which is exciting. Um, okay. So, all right. So this is what I would like to uh, start by doing, because we have to figure out a system for editing these that is going to work and is going to be doable for us both. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you something. Now this is a little odd, but we meet once a week and I figure no better time to do it. And hey, let's face it, this podcast is developing. We're finding our groove. It's a completely new podcast. And we're both new to this. So we're figuring it out. And this is our audience, I hope, is hearing that, and it's like, I don't know, like they get to kind of see it come together for whatever that's worth. So like I want to start by it's great we got the buttons figured out so that we now you've shown me how to press these different buttons here to make different sound effects and stuff, which is awesome. That's going to be super fun. I'm glad we got that done. Okay. Where is your car parked? Where's your car? Is it near
That's
you?
my
Is it outside?
yes.
Okay.
Right.
So most people listen to podcasts in the car, I think. I mean, I know I do. Certainly sometimes probably in headphones or maybe just straight out of their phone. But on a long car ride, there's nothing like a podcast. I know a lot of people listen in their car, so I want to do something here if you're up for it. I think it'll be informative and helpful. Um, and I'll just wait here. And when I edit this episode, because I think this one's like my turn to edit it, I'll just edit out whatever dead space there is, and I'll probably just replace it with like something like the spacey theme to sort so we get to use the sound that says like, oh, and we'll be back in a minute, folks, or whatever. But what I want to show you is um what I would like you to do is go to your car, turn it on, plug it, well, let me ask this first. You said you have Spotify.
Yes,
Do you have the ability to listen to a podcast that is on Spotify?
I think so. I've honestly
You
never tried it. I only use
okay.
it for music.
Okay. I use Spotify for podcast listening myself. Some people I think also use like Apple, maybe Apple Music or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
There's I think a few places to listen to them, but as long as you have a place where you can listen to a podcast, like for example, WTF is a podcast Mark Maron does. It's on Spotify. I don't know what else it's on, but what I really want to show you is what a listener hears when they click on a podcast, because then you're going to know what people hear with ours, and we can talk about what's going on and figure stuff out. Yeah, if you don't mind just listening to it whenever you're next in the car, just give that a
Mm-hmm.
try. A couple of things that I notice when I do that, like, okay, so um episode 4, it's it's really quiet. Like, I have to crank my car speaker to the max, and even then, I'm kind of, like, sort of leaning in to hear it, and especially with the engine going, it's hard to hear it. Um, so one thing I would say, I would just turn it way, way up. Um, the other thing I would say, my voice is a lot quieter than yours, and you're gonna hear these things when you do try this in the car, like, you'll hear this. Um because I don't know what your listening setup or listening apparatus is like when you're editing these, but every apparatus is different. It kind of sounds different on everything. So it's kind of weird. But to me, the ultimate test is a car, just because I know that's where most people listen to podcasts and it kind of puts things in perspective quickly.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but
Okay.
those were the
Yeah.
two biggest things for me. But the other thing with the editing, and I mean, this is just something we're gonna have to like figure out one day or another. And I mean,
Mm.
it's like we can keep recording these, and it's always fun to record them. But we could also just call each other and chat as friends. We don't have to record them. But if we are recording them, it's like we have to figure out a way that they will sound decent so that people will, like listen to it or not be, like dismiss it immediately. And like you're super busy. I mean, I'm busy too, but like we're busy in different ways and you have your stuff. Um it takes a couple hours to edit an episode. I like uh some people hire people to do it. I actually researched what that costs. It's anywhere from $30 to up for an episode. Um, I don't I don't know if you agree with this, but I don't think it makes like financial sense for either of us to drop money on this right out of the gate when we don't have any followers yet. You know what I mean? So it's like we're kind of in a position where unless we want to hire out for the labor, for the editing, we have to do it. And if we're doing it, we like have to do it in a way that works with our schedule, that we have time to do, and that is going to give us a product that is decent, like baseline decent and listenable.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
like listenable. Um so I had a couple ideas first, and like if we don't end up using any of this today, I mean, it is what it is, but like I feel like we have to figure this out in order to get in our groove and have this thing like work. Cuz like I said, otherwise we just call and chat. We don't have to like have a podcast. But like I had a couple ideas. I want to run by you, see what you think, because all I'm interested in is solutions. That's all I care about. I don't care about like, oh, who has more experience editing, blah blah blah, this and that. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we figure out a way that works for both of us to do it and just be in a groove and have it work. So a couple ideas I had for a solution. One thing we could do is um because I figure hiring out for the labor, are we ruling that out, or like what are your thoughts on that?
Why don't we just do this today? Why don't after today's episode,
Yeah.
because the platform we record on actually right now, this is one of the reasons it's so popular is because people don't have time to edit. Like
Yeah.
I for sure don't have hours to edit. That's why it
Yeah.
takes me so long to do anything. It's the time is a huge factor for me. So this episode, what we can do is since it's your turn, you can just um, do it the way you like. I will use this platform to
Okay.
put out the same episode. It is this the editor has a bunch of cool stuff like volume equalization, normalization between levels of all participants. I mean, it's built to make it easy to publish. So I'll do
Mhm.
that. I'll send it to you, and you let me know if it's acceptable. And if
Did you
that's
do that?
one thing we can
Yeah.
try, and if it's not quite working, then we can look at
Okay.
the.
Did
Go ahead.
you
What are your
did
other
you
options besides the hiring off
yeah.
part?
Yeah,
What other
yeah.
things that you have in
Did
mind?
you do that on episode 4?
No.
What you just Oh, okay, okay, okay. Cuz I was going to say, okay. Um would you want to I mean, would you want to try it on episode 4 since you have that one there or do you want to I
Yeah.
mean, you could do it on
I
this one
can
too, either way.
I can do both, and you can let me
I
know if it
figure
works.
since it's your episode to edit, you might as well do it on that one, That way you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
wasting time your own time.
Okay. Yeah.
So give it a try on episode 4. I would be curious to hear how it sounds. If it's like acceptable, then we'll roll with it. And like I said, still try that thing I said, listen to a real podcast and then jump over, listen to one of our episodes and just see what you notice, see what you hear. Um, and I'll do the same thing. So yeah,
Okay.
like when you get episode 4, just send it to me and I'll see. Because I'm genuinely curious. I would love it. I would love it if Riverside is good enough to just give us episodes that are good enough. That would be fucking fantastic. The only thing I would say is one thing I don't think Riverside will do for us. I don't think it will edit the dialogue to cut out stuff that's boring because that's basically subjective. And
It's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah, it's
okay,
there are features added, but yeah, that's again like it to do a very like basic, I think audio edit to make it like listenable. I think it can do that, but
yeah.
the yeah where you're talking about like hardcore editing, like removing silence, adding like sounds here and there, making it like really sound professional. Yeah, that's being developed, I think, but I'm not
Okay.
sure if we're at that point yet.
Okay.
But again, that's like it's something that I can check because there have been they have added a whole lot of features
Yeah.
into the editor,
Because I mean,
especially
another
with all
thing
this AI stuff.
we could just say, hey, we're not going to edit these. Like we're not. Not. I mean, we will edit the sound and get the levels right, assuming Riverside is able to do that. But in terms of cutting and snipping the dialogue, which I did on my episodes, but I'm also like, well, if it's something that's not sustainable, then maybe we don't do that. I mean, I listened to episode 4. Um, I definitely enjoyed most of it for sure. The content is great. It's like two guys who are clearly really comfortable with each other. There's no dead space. There's no awkwardness. There's no fakeness. It's just nice to listen to. And I listened to episode 4. I don't know if you listened to the whole thing or not, but I just played it while I was in the car and I listened to the whole thing. It's long, but long is not like bad. That's not a problem. Some podcast episodes are fucking 3 hours long. It's not like wrong for it to be long. There were one or two parts that if I were editing it, like editing dialogue, I probably would have cut out just because they dragged a bit and I was kind of like wanting to skip to, but there wasn't that much of that. And I'm sure we'll get better and better at having less and less of that kind of not as exciting parts as we go. But yeah, there were a couple parts where I was like, this is a little tedious, but I hope they get back to the good stuff soon. But for the most part, like 90% of it, it was like really engaging, relatable, fun, funny, interesting, which was cool. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely most podcasts will edit out parts that are, I guess, boring or just that they don't think would be interesting to the listener. But we may or may, yeah, I don't know. I guess let's just start with seeing if we can at least get the sound decent. If Riverside will get the sound decent for us, and if it is, that's a huge deal because it cuts out a lot of steps in the editing process. And then if we decided, we do want to listen to these and hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, there was a knock on my door. I just didn't
Oh.
want to spare
Oh,
you the
okay.
sound.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, I guess let's start with that and just see if we think it's like decent, like what Riverside does with the episode, because it might be, which would be great. Because and then we can talk about, well, do we so that cuts out like 5 steps right there for us. Do we want to still listen through these and edit them for dialogue to make them as good as they can be? We can decide whether we want to do that or not, I guess, at that point. But like I said, if the Riverside edit sounds decent, that alone is a huge thing. Because we're not going to pay someone to do this right now. I know neither one of us wants to do that. Um, I mean, that's the dream. Like, if you get a following and your podcast is getting kind of popular, then of course, yeah, you reinvest whatever money you're making from it back into paying an editor. That's what everyone does, and that's what we would do, I'm sure. But we're not. We're just not there now. So we're figuring it out. Um. Oh,
Mm.
okay. So I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this. So, like I said, I think we. I would love to settle on a name for our show. Have you come up with any additional ideas for names in the meantime, or where are you at with that?
I was pretty much stuck on Headspace and Headroom. I like those.
Okay.
I think that was one of those that you mentioned. I mean, uh, for me, it was like, yeah, it just kind of clicked right.
Yeah,
I think
I like.
Headspace. I like Headspace better.
Yeah, me
I think
too. I
better.
do like Headspace better than Headroom. Headroom almost slightly sounds like a room for blowjobs.
Yeah, a little
um,
bit.
but Headspace is cool. Headspace is cool. It's to me a little Headspace. Like I'd be almost surprised if there wasn't another podcast called that. But
Yeah,
maybe
quite possible.
I haven't checked, but it's a little dry maybe to me. I don't know, but it's
Need something more
nice.
lighthearted, maybe. It
It's
does kind of sound like it could be a podcast up for like a shrink, who's
yeah,
like,
it's a
gonna talk about
little
like, yeah,
right, like a
mental health stuff.
little tedious or heady. Yeah, like what you just said is basically what kind of how
Yeah.
it felt to me a little. Okay, so okay, because I wanted to start by asking you if you had any other ideas, because if you don't, I I have an idea.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
I
hear
do.
it. Let's
I
hear it.
do. I
Okay.
do. And I am excited to tell you about it. Um,
Okay.
no pressure. So uh this kind of came together literally last night. Like I was like, okay, it sounds like we're gonna be meeting tomorrow. We still need a name. W- And then I kind of talked to Zashi about it, and she and I sort of put together an idea for a name. And then she kind of threw together a little graphic as well. So what I want to do is show it to you. So if you go onto our shared drive,
Okay.
might take you a minute to get there. I don't know.
Yeah. And you might hear some clicking, clickety clack.
Yeah, no worries.
That's okay.
That's our
And some typing,
co-host,
I guess, too, because you,
our the
yeah.
keyboard, our co-host.
Mm-hmm. So if you're into ASMR keyboarding, then you would love
This
this.
is the show.
Pretty much, just a guy typing. Surprised
There's
there isn't a
probably
show.
there probably
Probably is
is
a show
that
somewhere out
it
there.
probably is. I
Yeah,
bet it is. I
yeah.
bet it is.
Okay, so I
But
see. I'm in the folder. I see graphics and images. I'm guessing that's where I'm going.
yes, yes. Click
Okay.
there and go ahead and click on KM Show Picture Test.
Okay. Oh, the BurnGatti Show. That's funny. Nice. it, it kind of it sounds it almost sounds like a spin-off of The Sopranos or something. BurnGatti. It just has like
Yeah,
a
well,
Italian sound to it.
there's a crime family called the Gattis,
Yeah,
which is Gotti, but, your name being Mumigati with an A, Gatti. So, because I was like, could we combine our names? We both have kind of unusual names. And basically, the reason I sent you that thing with our theme song playing in the background of the image with the title, uh, is because I wanted to make sure that the theme sounds like the name. Um, and I think it does. I think, like, to me, BurnGatti, BurnGatti, one word, BurnGatti, the BurnGatti chapters. I mean, it's kind of a show about the chapters of our life. It's kind of a show about our friendship. Like, we started the show recounting stories of our friendship, and it's like, so the word chapters was kind of nice because it almost felt like a story time, or like and the other thing I kind of like about it is it could be anything. Like, you don't know what it is, but I think it's kind of intriguing because you've never heard that name before. And then the other thing I liked about it was that no one else has that name. Like, literally, there is no way anyone else would ever have that name because it's just a combination of our two last names.
right.
And so we don't have to worry about, like, if we name it something like Headspace,
Yeah.
or Let's Talk About It, or some name like that, or,
Yeah.
uh, it's not only is there probably other podcasts already called that, but if there aren't, there will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then at that point you have to figure out, oh shit, somebody else has one with the same name as us. And it's like, with the name, the BurnGatti chapters, that's not going to happen for sure.
No, no, unless there's a guy out there who plans to burn a Bugatti every week and do a podcast
Oh
about it,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not good.
That's the other thing it kind of makes you think of, as a Bugatti, the car. That's true. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Um, I kind of liked the image of us I sent you there because we're both in tuxedos, and it almost makes, and the name BurnGatti almost sounds like a crime family. And it almost looks like you and I are like dons in some crime family or something. Um,
Yeah.
and
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah. But I'll open the floor to you. Like, do you like it? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's definitely unique. Like you said, it's unique to us. Like, I never thought about that point where if we call it Headspace and then, some guy comes out or some person comes out with Headspace, it could get mixed up and, people would be like, which Headspace are you talking about? And
Right.
yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, Burn Gotti, the chances are low of somebody else coming up with that name. And yeah, I guess it's better than combining our first names. It would be like Car Matt or something, which doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
I kind of thought about Mummy. I thought about like the Mummy Mash,
Movie sounds like baby food. It's like, no, no,
Yeah,
that's
it does. Yeah, and I was like, Mummy Mash, it's not bad, but it doesn't sound as badass as BurnGatti. Um, and at first I had a dash between Burn and Gotti, but then Zashi was like, you should just get rid of the dash and just make it one word and capitalize the G, and it just looks nice.
yeah.
I don't know, like, when I woke up first, and because we thought of that last night, and then when I woke up first thing this morning, because I always know whether I like something like the day after when I think of it. If I kind of cringe, then I'm like, probably not. But like this morning, the name was kind of stuck in my head. It's a word that does, in a way, sort of stick in your head because you're like, what is that? Um, and I thought of it when I first woke up today, and it didn't make me cringe. I was kind of like, huh, okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. That's cool. It didn't like bother me. So I was like, well, that's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's a
yeah.
very important test. It's very important to for something to pass the cringe test and the time test where you like let go of it for like a day and then come back and be like, does it still give you the same feeling it did, when you first thought about it?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I was trying to come up with all these other names, what were I'll read you some of them, I guess, since we're, settling on this today, basically. Let me see, what were the other names I had? Where did I put these? Oh, yeah, yeah, what the fuck? Where's that? Hold on. Oh, okay, sorry, just give me 1 second. This would be an example of a dead space that I would wanna edit out because nobody would wanna listen to that.
Do you have
Or,
the name like written down somewhere?
yeah, I'm just trying to find the note where I wrote it down. 1 second. It's all in my phone, all my notes and stuff. Oh, maybe it's here.
Us theme or something to play. Or like
I know. Um, okay, maybe here? I don't know. Okay. Oh, alright, well, I'll read a few of these. Um, let's talk about it. Um, the check-in. I kinda liked the check-in, but then there was another podcast called that.
okay, yeah, check-in is kind of nice.
Yeah, I kinda liked that, but it's taken, unfortunately. Um, I thought of The Dumbest Smart Kids, um, but I was
That's
like
kind of nice too, because it kind of like gives everything just like a very light feeling to
Yeah,
it, you
like,
know?
comedic. I liked it, but I was also like, I don't know if I forever wanna brand us as the dumbest
Yeah,
smart
me
kids.
neither. But it still
As
gets a
dumb.
clap though. It gets a clap for sure.
Thank
That was a
you.
good one. That was a good
Thank you.
one.
Thank
It
you
gets a
all.
clap.
It's always that same guy in the front row, always Larry.
Yeah.
But yeah, another idea I had actually, I liked this one, and Zashi kinda liked this one, Late Bloomers.
Late bloomers. It's not
Um,
bad.
but it was like, yeah, that was one,
Mm.
let me see,
Now I'm thinking about the car test. I'm thinking about the car, like what you said about the car. Like if I was driving in the car and I was bored and I wanted to look at like podcasts that I want to listen to, and I'm scrolling through a list on Spotify, what would I think if I heard that name? So if I heard the late bloomers, yeah, it would be intriguing.
you might be kinda like,
Uh,
I don't care that much.
yeah, I'd be like, what is it about?
Is it about a couple of losers or something?
Started late.
You'd be
I
like, "Well,
start my day at
you might
6 a.m.
you read that title, you go, "Well, I mean, I might be a late bloomer, but I'm not a loser, like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna listen to a podcast called Late Bloomer, define myself by it."
Yeah,
Another idea I had was Think Out Loud, um,
not
which I
bad.
kinda liked, but again, that's another one of those names, kinda like Headspace, where it's a little tepid, it's nice.
Yeah,
But it's also like whatever. It's like, oh yeah, sounds like lots of other podcast names. I mean, I liked it, but there probably is a podcast called that, but I haven't searched.
yeah.
Uh,
It's kind of funny because you try to think about like what do you want people to feel when they listen to your show? I mean, you want
yeah,
for me it's more like yeah, you just kind of like joining our conversation, you just
yep,
talking along. You relax a bit and listen to some banter, and then off you go on your way.
yeah,
Uh,
totally. And that's why I kind of like the BurnGatti chapters because the word chapters makes me feel like there's gonna be
more.
stories, there's gonna be banter, there's gonna be and it's like I don't know what BurnGatti means, but it's intriguing. And I'm
Yeah,
like and I know the word chapters means stories and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's see, another one I had was weekly check-in. That's kinda like, yeah, okay,
It's the same one as
not
before.
that
And
exciting.
that sounds like a meeting that you
Oh,
have with
yeah.
your boss.
Fucking gynecologist, yeah. Like or therapist, yeah.
Go ahead and
Um,
get undressed. I'll be right with you. No, please no.
I know, "Don't come in yet, I don't have my robe on." Yeah.
This robe isn't coming.
And then some of the ideas I had were just
Okay. Wasn't that funny? Come
those
on.
guys are Johnny on the spot, I'll tell you what. Um, I had some, like, weird ideas that were just a little too out there, like, son of a sheik. Um,
Well, if I want to join WrestleMania, I guess maybe I can be my
yeah.
name.
Reminds me of the time I died. Um, that of uh, oh, let's see. One flew over the fig tree. um, just like a little, yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate their sense of humor for my never to be heard podcast name. One that I did kind of like, although Zashi was kind of like didn't get it or was like, I don't know, was feed the birds. I don't know why, but I just kind of liked
Yeah,
it.
I kind of like it too. It's kind of like quirky. It has a
Yeah.
weird like quirkiness to it, and
Yeah.
the thing is like it does. For me, what I guess what I'm looking for is like something that when I hear it, it like pikes my curiosity. Where I'm like, okay, what is that? Let me at least click on that to see what the description is. Because I mean, I don't know how it works when you. I guess I should explore, but I imagine when you are looking for podcasts, you wherever you tap on the title, it does give
Mhm.
you a bit of a description about what the show is about, right?
That's
I'm
true. Right.
imagining.
And you
Yeah.
kind of want everything to align and make sense together. And
Right. Yeah. Yes.
you want the image to work, you want the name to work, you want the theme song, which is the first thing they hear, to make sense with the name. Um and Feed the Birds doesn't sound like that theme song to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I hear Feed the Birds, I'm like, okay, so this is kind of a shoegazing, quirky, kind of playful, funny, laid back show. And then I hear that theme, which has a little of a sense of adventure to it to me, and kind of it's definitely the theme to me is playful, but it's also kind of badass and kind of adventurous. Like it has an edge to it, but it's also playful and funny at the same time. And so for me, when I hear the theme song, if it's Feed the Birds or Headspace or something like more mundane like that, I mean, Feed the Birds is funny. Don't get me wrong. Um, uh, yeah, I kind of liked that one. Uh, I'm trying to think if there were any other. And let me know if anything randomly pops in your head as you're thinking about. But I mean, at the same time, though, like I don't know, like personally, I kind of like the BurnGatti chapters because it's like it's kind of hard to say what this podcast is about because we talk about anything and everything and it's going to change and we might have guests at some point and then it's like you wouldn't want the name to get in the way of that and you want it to be where the sky's the limit as far as that you can redefine it if you want. um we started the show kind of talking about each other's past and stories and stuff. And actually, I think it
Hmm.
would be cool if, I mean, I think this episode's kind of a maintenance episode for the most part of just figuring some things out
Sure.
together, which is important to do. I mean, you have to do. But, I'm sure the next episode we do, it'll be a little more kind of just like the previous ones where we just talk. But like, I would love to like keep going with, I don't know, I think it would be kind of fun to finish the stories we started telling in terms of, okay, so we took you from Haskell Street to Commonwealth Ave. We gave you some Haskell Street stories that were nice. Now we're going to give you a couple of Commonwealth ones. Maybe, maybe we change whose name, the one that starts with a C and has three letters, and we like change it to Bob or whatever and tell a few of those Bob stories. Um
Yeah. Yeah. We
tell a
haven't even
couple
got
of
to Los Angeles yet, for God's
exactly.
sake.
We haven't even gotten to fucking Los Angeles and we haven't even talked about Raymond the snapping turtle.
Oh my
Um
God, I forgot about
yeah.
him. He's out there terrorizing some pond somewhere.
Oh my
He's
god, like
probably
I know, like I remember when I moved back to my mom's house for a bit. I brought him with me and I tried to like set up a
I know.
situation for him in the basement and he kept escaping and I would like find him. I found him like under the guest bed one day that I had slept in. I like looked under the bed and he was there. He was like, and I was like, oh my God.
You're lucky you didn't take your nose off. I'll
I
tell you that.
know. I know. I know. And I had to pull him out from under the bed and his claws were dug in the carpet. It was almost impossible because he was so strong.
He
We're
was
talking
strong.
we're talking about a snapping turtle, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And just to give you
Normal
guys
stuff.
context, he was a snapping turtle.
Just everyday
Yeah.
things. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I had.
No, but in that sense, BurnGatti is pretty versatile because you can take the show wherever you want it to go because it doesn't like tie you down to a theme or doesn't tie you down to like a specific format or any
Yeah,
expectations. It's pretty versatile that way. And yeah, if you in terms of guests and stuff, yeah, that works too.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
my original hope was to come up with a name that was kind of that, like, more like just that, like, oh yeah, common, everyday, relatable feel. But all the names along those lines I was coming up
yeah,
with were so generic, kind of, and even if they weren't generic, they just felt like, I mean, my God, it's 2025. There have been so many podcasts at this
I know.
point. There've been so many. It's the most popular like thing for anyone to do is like have a podcast. We're not like early adopters by any means. And
No, no,
so I feel like the days of naming it something like that are numbered at this point. Um where it's like if you want to stand out, you almost have to go a little further out. I don't know. Um the other thing I like about the name BurnGatti chapters is that it could be that we're like you just said, there's versatility because sometimes we do talk about like real stuff and have real conversations about whatever it is, AI or whatever comes on the plate on the table, or the culture of the day. But then other times we just tell funny stories or talk about whatever ridiculous thing is in my head or your head, and so I like the name the Berngati chapters for that reason that I feel like it's the floodgates are open. You can talk about anything. Um, and I guess as far as people clicking it, I feel like, I mean, first of all, I sort of like that photo I sent you. Um, I don't know. What do you think of that photo?
yeah, it's a nice photo. I mean, it's pretty fly. Like we don't look like either we look like we're in the mob or it looks like
Yeah.
we're gearing up to like start our own rat pack.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Rat Pack. That was one thing Zashi said. She was like, makes me think of the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Which is fun because the Rat Pack, I don't like Frank Sinatra's music really, or the Rat Pack stuff, like that era of music's not really my thing, but there's a universal appreciation for just that sort of sense of camaraderie and like jovial brotherhood jokiness of that those guys had.
Yeah, right.
And and it's also kind of fun that it's sort of a it almost looks like it could be like, what is this? Is it a movie? Is it a show? Like, it feels almost like a throwback to another time. I kind of liked making it almost a little sepia tone or like a little old looking or something.
Right.
Um, kind of makes it tell even more of a story or something.
Yeah. And it works if you
Yeah,
have like I guess if you have guests and stuff. Which by the way,
yeah,
we do have a guest today. You wanna hear from him? You
yeah.
wanna hear what kind of guy he is? Hold on.
I do.
Let me get him in. Hey buddy, come on here. Tell us a bit about yourself.
I could snap your sternum with one blow of my forehead to your chest. I could raise my head up and loosen your teeth, knock you down, grab you by the lip, pull you up, and tell you I'll be right back.
Oh,
Oh my God. I wish we could have Gary Busey on. That would be fucking amazing. Oh my God, that's so funny. Where did you find that?
I just was so I was watching that episode and I remember that line and I was like, oh my god, this line I remember how much we used to laugh about this line and I was like, I gotta have this. I gotta play this. Even if I get a call from HBO telling me giving me a cease and desist letter. I was like, it'll be totally worth it to have this played on
That's
the podcast.
hilarious. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Gary Busey. Yeah, that was great. And that's another thing that I hope we get to do more of is just what you just did, like taking little snippets and playing them on the show is super fun. I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
And and then and then I remember last time in the last episode we recorded, we said we wanted to do a thing where we tested AI and had them do
The song.
a song and then judge it on the show, which would be fun. I don't know exactly how to do that. I found a website where you can enter in basic information like what you want it to be about and what genre and blah blah blah, and then it'll like make a song. So I don't know, maybe I'll revisit that and see if there's a way to incorporate that, but that would
Hmm.
be fun to follow up on that too. Um yeah, I mean, there's like a million things that we'll do and say. There's a limitless supply, that's for sure. I mean, that's the nice thing about doing a show with a friend. Because imagine trying to do it with a host who you like are either hiring or, somebody you just don't know well. It's like, I don't know, that's gonna be a little more stilted
More
and
formal. Yeah.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
It'll
Um,
take you some time to find your groove over there, find your banter. I mean, we
yeah.
have the banter part down. We gotta get the other stuff in
Right.
line a little bit more.
Right.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
totally.
yeah.
I mean, I think, like I said, I really think we have, and I know that we're, coming close to the end of our time today, but I mean, look, I mean, we did some good things. This stuff has had to get sorted out. It's good that we
Hmm.
talked about it, and we'll figure out the editing stuff. I think, because like I said, I do think we have good content. I do think that it could be enjoyable to a stranger and relatable, but we just have to figure out the editing thing, but we will. I like your idea to first start by seeing if Riverside can do it and do it decent justice, because even if that
Yeah.
just left us so that the only thing we had to do was go in and snip out a few sections, even that is saving us hours of time. um
Y-
yeah. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the time is the biggest thing. That it would be good. Let's see if it works. Because yeah, I mean, it's a good. You're right. Like, there's no point having good content if it's
Yeah.
not listenable. It's
Yeah.
like it's like one of the most basic things. You could have a great song, great story, but if your execution is lacking, it's not gonna come across.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna be
would just
noticed.
yeah, I mean, cuz it's like you or I might listen to it, but if it's unlistenable or it's hard to listen to, you can't expect strangers to.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would. If it's an I've had that happen before where I was listening to a podcast episode of somebody's show and I was like, you know, I really like these two guests or this guest, and I want to hear this, but my God, it's taxing to try to
Mm.
like it's like the guest was too quiet or whatever, and maybe his voice was super like, sounded like this. Yeah, so basically the only is really just an amazing source of information. And I'm just like, I can't listen to that for an
Yeah.
hour. Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah.
what's it?
It's because
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you don't want people to have to work, right, to like listen to your
no,
stuff. You want them
yeah,
to just enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's we don't have a full time engineer spending hours for us doing all this, so we, it's not like we're expecting it to sound like Mark Maron's podcast right out of the gate, but we just want it to be enjoyable. That's all,
Right.
just
Yes.
enjoyable. So yeah, we're figuring that out. But how's like I know you've been busy the last couple weeks. Like, what's been the last couple weeks for you? Like, I think you had your mother-in-law came by or something. How's it
Oh
life
yeah.
been?
It's been busy with her, and I mean, things are just busy period when you have a kid, but like, yeah, it's been extra busy because she was visiting as well. Plus, like, work was a bit hectic. Um, there were a lot. I had to go. There were just a lot of meetings and
Your meeting and your future is
oh, Gary, come on, bro, come
Gary,
on.
man, Gary, sit down for a second, please.
I didn't know. I
Just
didn't really
wait.
have too many meetings. I just needed a setup for that.
Nice. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just need a good setup.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean it's been busy, but I don't like to say I've been busy. I've been busy because it's like I feel like it's a flaky thing to say. Everyone's busy, but yeah, if you want to do something, you have to find the time. So, yeah,
Well, that's all right. That's why we're talking about it. That's why we're figuring
yeah,
out this editing thing, because that's we just got to figure out a thing that's gonna work. And because once we get the tedious shit, like once we figure out the technical shit and it just works, man, that would be nice. Because then
yeah,
it's like, because then it's like, okay, now just do it and just coast and do it and have fun with it and let your following grow at the pace that it wants to grow and at the pace that it's going to grow, whatever that is. But don't worry about it and just have fun and do it. And it's like we'll get there. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. We have I mean, can we say we're going with this name for now?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh, I just want to think. Would you think it's uh, like you want to switch from chapters to show or hour or something like that, or
I
are you
thought
okay?
about the only thing about I thought about that. The only thing about the word hour, it kind of locks us to that it's an hour.
I guess
You know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And first of all, it never has been so far. Like that's not happened once, I don't think.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
then the other thing is, what if it's not meant to be an hour? What if it is meant to be longer than an hour, and then it's still called the BurnGatti Hour? And it's like somebody listens to that, they go, "Oh, this is nice. I guess I
You
have,
guys are liars.
yeah, I have an hour. I have an hour to kill." And then they're like, "Oh, this is 4 hours. Fuck these liars."
It's 3 hours and these guys are still talking.
These fucking BurnGatti should be called the BurnGatti Liars. The Carolina Liars, the Carolina BurnGattis. That was way too many, references packed in one. But the they had that one good song, the Carolina Liars.
Yeah, they did.
They had
They
two
got
good
huge. They
songs.
probably still can live off the royalties of that song. It was pretty
Probably,
big at one
yeah,
point.
probably. As long as
Yeah.
they don't spend it on yachts and things.
Yeah.
Don't spend your money on yachts and hookers and coke. Just don't blow it. Don't blow the money, Carolina Liars, and you'll be living off that liar money for years to come.
You'll
Yeah,
you'll be set.
you'll be set. Yeah, but uh, yeah. So, oh yeah. But sorry, what you were just saying is yeah. So the BurnGatti Hour is cool, but again, I don't know if I like us being locked to a time reference, a time
Hmm.
frame. And then the because I thought of like the BurnGatti Weekly or the BurnGatti,
Mm.
I thought about weekly. Yeah, well, I already said weekly check-in, which we threw out quickly, but which because it kind of sucks. But you know what I mean. I had certain time frames. I was like, oh, what if it was the once a week something something something. But it was like, um, yeah, I didn't love being locked into that because then it's like, what if it's not once a week? What if what if we don't do it this week? And then people are like, liars, always lying. The time frame liars. And then with the BurnGatti show is cool too. And I mean, you could also just call it BurnGatti, but um, actually, I don't like just calling it BurnGatti. That's too. Then it's not connected to anything that you know. So then you're like, yeah, that's a little too open ended. But the BurnGatti show is fine. I guess I guess to me, like the word chapters, I don't think I've heard that word before, and it kind of feels like what it is. Um, but uh, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. And you know what? Yeah, here's what I'll say. Let's sit on it for the week. If you come up with something else that you definitely like more than the BurnGatti chapters, whether it's the BurnGatti Show or whatever it is, like if you decide, I'm I'm casting my vote for this other thing, then let me know and we'll deliberate on it further. I would say for now, I would that my hat in the ring, so to speak, I'm throwing in the BurnGatti chapters. I think that's what I'll probably go with. But if you can beat it or you think of another idea, I guess let me know.
It's a strong contender. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can come up with a better one. But I guess that's the homework for this week. Besides trying out some more of the editing capabilities of this platform. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
guess that's the homework. Yeah, I guess seeing if that would work for us, because that would just be such
Be
an awesome
great.
time saver.
It would.
And like, yeah, I know people use it, but I guess let me see if I can try to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, like I said, as long as it makes it enjoyable to listen to, then it's good. And also try that thing I said, like pretend you're an audience member. Like go on Spotify when you get a chance. Next time you're in the car and you have a minute, click on a professional podcast that's famous, like WTF or Bad Friends or anything that you find. Listen to it for a couple minutes, the dialogue, and then pull up like ours and just, see what you hear, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they gotta do my research on over there. Because I'll be honest, I don't think I've heard as many podcasts, or yeah, close to as many as you have, and I definitely have not heard them in the car. That's for sure. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to sound decent in the car since I think that's
yeah,
probably, if I had to guess, I would say that's got to be the number one place.
nice.
Um,
Okay, I got some work
yeah.
to do then.
All right.
Okay, on that note, I guess I will stop this maintenance session.